What is going on, guys? Welcome to this edition of the Second Chance Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Chance Dyson. It is time for Week 5 and Week 6 coverage of the NFL and NCAA. And listen, I know we're covering a lot of football. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have an episode recapping the finals, starting to touch on the MLB playoffs. We're going to go over a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks. We've got the NHL draft on tonight when I'm recording this. You guys will obviously see it. Well, when you hear this, it'll be 2 o'clock on Wednesday. But right now, tonight, we have the NHL draft coming up. But first, I want to touch on, hey, it's college football time. You know how we do this. Last week, we had Florida defeat South Carolina 38-24. Pitts and Trask just building their campaign for Heisman. Trask, 21-29, 268 yards, threw one pick, but still a QBR of 91.5. Great quarterback. Pitts, of course, had 4 receptions, 57 yards. His longest was a 20. I mean, they're just building this Heisman campaign for themselves. I love Florida. They look really good. Then we've got TCU knocking off Texas. And I must say, I picked Texas here, but I truly didn't expect them to lose. I mean, Sam Ehlinger threw 17-36, a little under 50%, 236 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. His QBR was only a 74.5. But I really did not expect a number 9 Texas to lose to an unranked TCU. So that's one of our upsets for the week. Final there going to be 33-31 TCU. Then we have Tennessee trampling Missouri 35-12. That Tennessee team, like I said, is really strong. Didn't expect a lot out of them this season, but they've put up very good numbers, I must say. So they beat Missouri, unranked, 35-12. Then NC State, listen, y'all can't be mad at me this week. I rode with my hometown crowd. I picked number 24 Pitt. They lose to NC State in a heartbreaker, 30-29. I'm really disappointed in that Pitt team this week. I had a lot of faith in them, especially against an NC State. And it was just, NC State scored a go-ahead touchdown with 23 seconds left and defeated Pitt. So really big disappointment there. So hopefully we see Pitt come back because they have a really good football team this year. We have number 2 Alabama beating number 13 Texas A&M 52-24. I think we all kind of expected this. I must say, I picked an upset this week. I thought that Texas A&M had good enough of a team to beat Alabama, and they were actually, I think Texas A&M was up on Alabama in the entire first quarter, 21-14. So I don't know what happened there, but I guess Alabama just kind of went full Nick Saban, kicked it into high gear, and just demolished them. Then, y'all know what I'm going to say next. Oklahoma State demolishes Kansas 47-7. And y'all know who I'm talking about now. That's going to be Chuba Hubbard. 20 carries, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm telling you, the kid's a star. I'm really excited to see what the rest of this season brings for him in that entire Oklahoma State team. Then we go Auburn versus Georgia. And I went full War Eagle this week, I must say, and I was wrong. I was very wrong. Georgia just demolishes them, 27-6. Had Stetson Bennett now in talks for Heisman. He's a great quarterback, 17-28, 240 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I really liked him. I mentioned him last week. He's now in the Heisman talks. And Bo Nix just kind of, he just kind of fell off, went less than, I think that he was like at 51%, 177 yards passing and 1 interception. All the points scored by Auburn were field goals. So just kind of depressing for Auburn there, especially being number 7. And then we have Tulsa upset number 11 UCF 34-26. I thought UCF, that was going to be a cakewalk for them, but unfortunately I was wrong. Tulsa wins they broke UCF's 21-game home winning streak. So just a bad night for UCF there. Dylan Gabriel still 330 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He still played a pretty decent game. And then another upset. I mean, just with the upsets in the past couple of weeks, Iowa State beats Oklahoma 37-30. I mean, that's their first win over number 18 Oklahoma since 1960. I mean, can you imagine, what are the odds of that happening? Spencer Rattler, 25-36, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, just this entire Iowa State team outplayed Oklahoma as a whole. So, down falls Oklahoma 37-30. Then LSU kind of gets their swagger back in a win over unranked Vanderbilt. LSU's now ranked number 20. And they win that game 41-7. Brennan threw 4 touchdown passes. He had 337 yards and, like I said, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he looked pretty well. I think Coach Orgeron was pretty happy with his performance, but I think they have a lot more work to do. And then we have the final of the night, Clemson beating UVA, University of Virginia, 41-23. Trevor Lawrence in this one just, of course, put on an absolute show. 25 of 38, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And, I mean, yeah, you knew what was going to happen. I really wanted Virginia to win that one, but unfortunately, Clemson prevails. So now we're going to switch gears. Let's go ahead and hop over to Week 6. I'm going to give you guys the Week 6 AP Top 25. Number 1, Clemson. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Florida. Number 5, Notre Dame. Number 6, Ohio State. Number 7, Miami. Number 8, UNC. Number 9, Penn State. And number 10 now this week, Oklahoma State. So I'm just going to give you the 10. I won't read you the full 25, but I will say Auburn falls to 13. LSU comes back to 17. Michigan comes into play now at number 20. And Texas falls to 22. And now the Raging Cajuns ranked at 23. They're 3-0 as well. So let's see. I think, UCF received 112 votes, but like I said, we probably won't see them. Yeah, they are out of the top 25. So now let's go into our predictions for Week 6. Game 1, here we go. Florida versus Texas A&M. I think Trask and Pitts put on a show in this game. They're going to defeat Texas A&M. Then we have Texas and Oklahoma. See, now this is going to be a game for approval and to prove what their worth is in the rankings. Oklahoma now unranked, and Texas sitting at 22. Texas is 2-1. Oklahoma is 1-2. Not looking pretty for them, but I got to be honest. This is a battle of 2 of my favorite quarterbacks, but I think I'm going to take Sam Ehlinger in this one. I must say, I like Texas, and I think they have a lot better opportunity on offense to convert against that Oklahoma defense than Oklahoma has against them. So I'm taking Texas. Then we've got Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns versus Coastal Carolina. Not a big game. Both teams are 3-0, though, so a lot to prove on the field. I'm going to take the Raging Cajuns. I think they win this one. Then Tennessee versus Georgia. Both teams are 2-0. Tennessee's a really good team. Obviously, Georgia's number 3. So, under good morals, I'm going to take Georgia. But I think Tennessee has a lot of opportunity to win this game, without a doubt in my mind. So, then we're going to move down. We've got Arkansas versus Auburn. A little bit of an SEC clash. I'm going to take Auburn, Arkansas, and Auburn, both 1-1. But I'm going to take Auburn in this one. Bo Nix is much better than anything Arkansas has right now. So, then we've got Alabama versus Ole Miss. Alabama takes this one. I'm not talking about it anymore. It's Ole Miss. They're 1-1. Alabama's 2-0. And Alabama's Alabama. So, Alabama wins. Then we have probably the biggest statement game of the year coming up this Saturday, 7:30 ABC. If you didn't know, Miami versus Clemson. I'm so excited to see this game because I mentioned it before. Miami has no business being in the top 25, right? But I'll tell you what, Miami has so much to prove in this game. Them being number 7, Clemson being number 1. This is truly, from what I've seen, other than Notre Dame, this is truly Clemson's only matchup in the ACC that's been really scary for them. Because especially seeing what Miami can do. Granted, Miami, I'm not saying that Miami played, their first 3 games were, not absolute cakewalks. I mean, they played UAB, Louisville, and Florida State. So this is really going to be a statement game for them, and this is where we make or break Miami. So I'm going to take Clemson over, under better judgment, but Miami might have a chance of winning this one. If not, like I said, both teams 3-0, a lot to put on the field, but I think Trevor Lawrence just picks apart this Miami defense. Then we've got number 5 Notre Dame versus Florida State. Notre Dame obviously takes this game, without a doubt. Then LSU and Missouri. I'm going to take LSU. Got to go for my boys in purple and gold. So that is going to cap off Week 6 predictions, Week 5 recap of college football. Now, we're going to swing it over to my Pigskin Pick'em, and let's see what we have on tap for NFL this week. Obviously, last week, most of the games got canceled. Well, almost got canceled. I must say, I took a gruesome loss in my fantasy this week on ESPN. Get this, I lost 131.48 to 130.5. It was such a close game, and old man Rodgers, if he had just not completed that last fourth down kind of go against the Falcons, I would have won the game. And I was really praying they put Jordan Love in so that I would win, but the guy that I'm playing his name on here is Nevada Chambo. He beats me by 1.43 points. And if Aaron Rodgers had just not completed that one pass, I would have won the game. So we saw there, though, obviously the Packers win that one. We're going to cover that here in a second, but I'm going to start from the beginning just so it's a little bit easier for you guys. So first we had Thursday night, Broncos versus the Jets. I picked the Broncos. The Broncos win. Final score here, 37-28. Then I literally will not pick the Jaguars for a game the rest of the season. I'm so over it. Jaguars lose to the Bengals 33-25. I picked the Jaguars, but I'm telling you, I'm done. I'm not picking them for the rest of any games this season. I'm sorry. I had a lot of faith in them. Now I'm done. You just lost to 0-2-1, which is now 1-2-1. What are we running? What are we running a basketball defense here? Come on. So Bengals win that 33-25. Then one that really blew my mind. Browns pretty much demolished the Cowboys 49-38. I picked the Cowboys here. I fully expected a Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott filled night, but it was a Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield filled night. I mean, I don't know what happened to the Cowboys, but if that tells you anything about the Cowboys, then I don't think I have much more to say. Then we have a close one. Saints beat the Lions 35-29, and then Seahawks play the Dolphins, which again, Russell Wilson for MVP campaign here kind of getting put on hold because they only beat the Dolphins 31-23. This should have been an absolute cakewalk for them, and they only won by pretty much a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So really disappointed in Russell Wilson there, I must say. But Seahawks advanced to 4-0, and I mean, yeah. Then we had Vikings-Texans. Vikings beat the Texans 31-23. Again, the battle of the uglies, as I put it. And Vikings take this one, just as I expected. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, and Bill O'Brien actually just got fired day before yesterday. So I fully expected this. Now we have an interim HC down in Houston. I can't remember his name. I'll find it for you guys. But, yeah, Texans lose that game, advance to 0-4 for the first time in, like, the past 8 years, I believe. So then we've got Cardinals losing to the Panthers, which, again, I didn't put enough faith in Teddy Bridgewater this week. I'm going to start putting it because they beat the Cardinals 31-21. And I must say that Matt Rule offense looks nice, especially against that Cardinals defense. Looked really good and performed very well. Won them that game. Then the close one that we talked about that I told you guys, I knew. Here we have Justin Herbert starting after week 3. Now coming very, very close to beating a Buccaneers team and only lost by a touchdown in the end. Buccaneers win 38-31. Again, I picked them under better judgment. I picked the Buccaneers under better judgment. But I told you guys the Chargers had a very good shot at winning that game, especially with Justin Herbert feeling comfortable in that offense. Herbert had a phenomenal game. Even Brady was like, oh my God, he played phenomenal. So I must say there, I was really impressed with Herbert. I think he has a bright future ahead of him, especially in Los Angeles. Then the game we all knew would happen. Ravens beat the Redskins. I'm sorry, not the Redskins, the Washington football team, 31-17. I keep slipping up on that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have conversations and I think about it and I'm like I got to keep calling them the football team because it's not politically correct. But regardless, Ravens win that game. Lamar Jackson had the longest rushing touchdown of the game, 50 yards. He's putting all the power behind his legs and putting the team on his back. So Ravens win there. Then, I've got to say it, I said last week the Rams would beat the Giants and the Rams defense would have 5 sacks. And now I'm going to play a little clip for you guys and then we'll come back. So here it is. We got the Giants and the Rams. The Rams. Daniel Jones is getting sacked 5 times. I'm saying it now. He will get sacked 5 times on Sunday. 5 times. I'm going to say it now. Whether it be Aaron Donald, Telvin Smith, I don't care who it is. He's getting sacked 5 times. I'm going to say
Daniel Jones had 5 quarterback sacks against the Rams.
See? Y'all heard that. You know what happened. That Rams defense picked that Giants offensive line apart. and the Rams win this game 17-9. Ugly game, but the Rams defense prevails. And then we have Josh Allen and the Bills versus the Raiders. They win that game 30-23. Not much to talk about here. Then, hey, listen, I told you guys, the Bears were the imposters. Colts win that game 19-11, and I've got to mention to you, that Colts defense, number one in every NFL and ESPN ranking right now. They have the number one defense in the league, Steelers being number two. So, hey, I'm telling you guys, this Colts defense, the rookie that I made mention of had a blocked punt in this game, which led them to victory. So, I'm telling you, it is just a testament to this Colts team, what they've been doing on defense. Then we have the Eagles beating the 49ers somehow. I don't know what happened, truly. I truly have no idea what happened. I give up. I don't know what to do anymore. So, Eagles beat the 49ers there, 25-20. Then our final two, our Monday night doubleheader, we had the Patriots versus the Chiefs. Chiefs prevail, playing against a Cam Newton-less Patriots, so we kind of expected that to happen there. Chiefs win that game. Then Packers defeat the Falcons 30-16. So that's going to be the end of our NFL recap. So now, here we go as we jump ship. Now we're going to hop into Week 5, and we have got the Buccaneers versus the Bears, where we have Foles versus Brady 2. I'm taking the Buccaneers. Again, I said the Bears were the imposters last week. I think that they aren't going to be able to take care of the Buccaneers in this one. Then we've got Panthers-Falcons. You know what? With my own judgment, I would say the Falcons, but with every crazy bit of stuff that happened last week, I'm just going to take the Panthers. I'm not going to pick against them this week. Then we've got Bills-Titans. I'm going to take the Bills. I think that although Derrick Henry could blow down that Bills defensive line, I think that Josh Allen's going to be way better than Tannehill on offense and just propel that Bills team to a win. Then Bengals-Ravens. I'm going to go with the Ravens. Obviously here, I think that Joe Burrow versus that Ravens defense is going to be, scary. And Calais Campbell already said, oh, hey, Joe, welcome to the league. We've got a meeting in Week 5, and he's ready for him. So I expect to see a lot of sacks in that one because that Bengals O-line is scary. So then we've got Raiders-Chiefs. Chiefs are taking this one all the way, without a doubt. Pat Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins. Do I have to go any further? Chiefs win that. Then Rams versus the Washington football team. We have got the Rams winning that one. Then Cardinals versus Jets. I'm taking the Cardinals. Eagles versus Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers, obviously. Jaguars and Texans. I got the Texans. Dolphins 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers. Colts versus Browns. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think the Colts prevail in this one, but the Browns have a really good chance of winning. Then Giants-Cowboys. Obviously taking the Cowboys here. Then Broncos-Patriots. Taking the Patriots. Vikings versus Seahawks. Seahawks all the way. Then Saints versus Chargers. I've got the Saints with a really good chance of the Chargers winning. So those are what I got. My score prediction, and Chargers-Saints is going to be Monday night. I've got them Saints winning 35-17. With our two teams on bye this week going to be Detroit and Green Bay. Those are our two byes for Week 5. And Week 6, after this, I'll start giving you guys the bye again because obviously we'll have bye weeks from Week 6 to Week 11, technically Week 13. But after that, we have nothing. And in the first 4 weeks, we obviously have no byes. So with that being said, that is going to wrap up this episode of the Second Chance Sports Podcast, our recaps. I really hope you guys are enjoying this series. I think that it's really cool to be able to do, and I appreciate you guys listening. I've been able to upgrade my my streaming service that pushes out the podcast and noticed that there are people listening to this in Oklahoma, Alaska, and if you guys hear this and you listen to this, I just want to thank you guys so much and thank you again for the support. Seriously, it's so cool. We've done great numbers, and I'm really excited to do this for you guys and be able to do it. So with that being said, again, thank you. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to go like, rate, subscribe, comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Go follow at Second Chance Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll see you next time.